What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the post that you love. But you can get everything the Draymond Green Show right on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. Check that out. Thank you. In other news, LeBron James on the Mind the Game podcast with JJ Redick spoke about a plethora of different things, but one being the Warriors beat the Celtics in the finals because of basketball IQ. And of course, you all know this is on the rundown of things because Jackson is always going to find a way to insert the Celtics into
That's exactly right.
anything that he can possibly do. So let's talk about the Celtics because there are weird fans like Jackson get off by listening to how they lost to us. So let's talk about this. That to a certain degree is very true. I think we definitely had a higher IQ at the time, but I think we also is more than just an higher IQ though. Like we had a higher IQ for sure, but it's also IQ in the moment. You know, like in these situations, like you get in these, you know, somebody can have a high IQ and get in those moments and completely lose it, like because the moment gets too big. You know, we saw Jared Allen maybe that was last year. He said, "Man, those lights were brighter than we thought." I was very surprised when he came out and said that publicly, but it was as real as anybody could be. Like you get in these playoffs sometimes, and this is the NBA Finals we're talking about. Sometimes those lights can get a little bit brighter than you expected. And then, you know, they were much younger and, you know, had never been there. They had been to the Eastern Conference Finals, but had never been there. They were much younger. And so I think our basketball IQ was higher. I think at that time also our coaching staff's basketball IQ was higher. The adjustments that we made throughout that series, it made all the difference in the series. But again, we had been there before. Steve had been there. Mike had been there. Mike Brown. You know, they had been there. And so they knew the adjustments to make like that. But I definitely think our IQ was better. Like I remember when we switched and start guarding and sending all those guys left, like that came from the players. Of like, yo, they can't go with their left hand. Like, go. You know, like, let's send them left everywhere. Because as a coach, you're hesitant to do something like that as a coach because if you're on the right side of the floor and you're sending left, that means you're sending left. I mean, that means you're sending it to the middle. Go watch the NBA and tell me how many times guys intentionally send a pick and roll to the middle. Your defense ain't really built for that. And so we're telling guys like, yo, we're going to send them left and like spray out. Like don't even stay and help. Just spray out to shooters so they can't hit the shooters. And like it changed the entire series. That is an IQ thing. And so I think that's definitely crazy. And you know, for those of you out there that don't quite understand what I mean by IQ, it's like what level are you processing this game and how are you processing these pictures? You know, in the course of a game, like pictures develop in every 20 seconds, every 15 seconds, a different picture is developing. How fast can you process those pictures? Take an IQ to another step. Can you process those pictures before the picture even become clear? That's taking IQ to another level. And by the way, there's not many guys in the NBA. And when I say many, you're talking probably, I'm going to be generous and say less than 20 that can literally see the pictures. And that's being very generous, by the way, that can see the picture before it even develops. That's a whole nother level of IQ. Chris Paul can see that. LeBron James can see that. I always go back to Rajon Rondo. I know Rondo is retired, but when it comes to basketball IQ, I've never in my life got an opportunity to talk the game of basketball with Rajon Rondo. I have the utmost respect for Rajon Rondo's basketball IQ. So anytime I mention IQ, you always hear me bring up Rajon Rondo, and I always will. Because to me, when it comes to IQ in the game of basketball, he is one of the GOATs. And I say that, and I mean it like nobody's tomorrow. Rajon Rondo is one of the GOATs when it comes to basketball IQ. So there's not a lot of guys that see those pictures before they happen. And quite frankly, there's always the discussion of, is IQ, is that an innate thing? Like, is it inherited? Like, is that how does that come about? I wouldn't necessarily say inherited. That's crazy. But is it an innate thing or is it learned? And the reality is, I think it is partly learned. Like, my uncle taught me the game of basketball when I was young. When all these coaches was rolling out of basketball and telling guys go play, my uncle didn't roll out no basketball. He's like, all right, first I'm gonna teach y'all this game. I learned help side defense when I was in the first or second grade. Most guys don't learn that to high school. Some guys don't learn that to college. Some of these guys don't learn until they get to the NBA. I learned that in first, second grade. So imagine the head start that I had with that, right? Like, my uncle has always watched the games with me and look at this. See, you see this? My uncle still sent me stuff about the game. And my uncle ain't never coached past the elementary school level. Maybe he was like an assistant coach for my aunt at the high school level and I don't think he went to games. He just go to practice. Like, my uncle is a basketball teacher, savantly level teacher. And the base that he builds for a basketball player is out of this world. And so the foundation is out of this world. And so, number one, when I first started playing, I was taught the game of basketball, but then I also think there's some part of it that's innate. That's my gift, Steph Curry's gift is his shot. I can go shoot the ball 1,000,000 times and get 1,000,000 extra shots up. I would not be as good a shooter as Steph Curry. It just won't happen. Steph Curry has an innate ability to shoot the basketball. Not saying that you can't become a better shooter, but Steph Curry, that's a gift. And then he worked his butt off to enhance that gift. And so you see some guys with gifts and they don't work and it don't work, But Steph Curry has a gift of shooting the basketball. And then you work your tail off and enhance it, right? So that is a part of my gift. My basketball IQ, no matter what level I've played at, I've always been a savvy player. And that's, so back to the original, yes, that was part of the reason that we beat the Celtics, was because of our basketball IQ.
All right, the NBA season is in full swing, coming down the stretch. Then we move right into the playoffs in April, May, and June. I can't wait. Spice things up with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA right now. All you have to do is put down $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Pretty good trade-off. I pay $5, I get $150. North Carolina listeners, do not forget, welcome to the party. DraftKings Sportsbook now live in your state, North Carolina. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Takes 90 seconds. The code is Colin, C-O-L-I-N. Again, 90 seconds. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app. Put in Colin. New customers bet $5, get $150 back in bonus bets instantly. That is the trade. All right? The code is always Colin. The crown is yours.